下げていくとやっぱいろんな理由があって自分は頑張ってたのかなって今思います。
But now looking back at myself in those years, trying to look deeper at the reasons why I was working so hard to get those things that I wanted, I think there were several reasons for why I was working so hard.
でやっぱどっかで自分は何かしてたんでしょうね。自分が何かおかしくてなんかどっかもう狂っててどっかなんか心の病抱えてんじゃないかなってどっかで思ってました。
And I think even back in those years, deep down, I vaguely knew that there was something not quite right about what I was doing. Not quite, I wasn't being fulfilled, and there was something, maybe a little darkness in my soul, you could say.
どうしてもなんか親が嫌いでどうしてもなんか嫌いな人がいたらその人には優しくなれなくてどうしてもなんか自分のことばっかりしか考えてなくてで、まあ、全部言ったらキリがないんですけどね。
For example, some things like wouldn't quite be able to respect my parents. If there was somebody I didn't like, I wouldn't be able to treat them very nicely. What was the last one?
自分のことばっかり考えて
I was always,
他人はどうでもいいってここ書いてある。
I was always quite self-centered and not able to think of those around me, only thinking of my own gain. And you know, I could go on and on with these little things that are not quite right about me.
やっぱ自分にはなんか憎いところが本当にいっぱいあってそれを隠したくていろいろ頑張ってたんだと思います。
And so I think that one of the reasons why I was working so hard to present a good image of myself was because I knew there were things inside me that weren't nice, weren't right, and things that I didn't want other people to see.
もしかしなんかすごい輝かしいもので自分を飾れば僕そういうところは自分隠せるかなってどっかで思ってたんだと思います。
So I thought if I could work hard and be able to do something really cool, that other people would look at that and they'd ignore all the other darker parts of me.
やっぱ自分は頑張ってましたけどそういう嫌なところが出てくるかもしれない恐れがあったからこそ頑張ってたんだと思います。
And again, so one of the reasons why I was working so hard in life was to prevent those darker aspects of my personality, to prevent them from coming out and being seen.
しかもサッカーできるとかギター弾けるとかすごいどうでもいいところで頑張ってて家族や友達のことを大切にできてないのにそういうところでは自分は頑張ろうとはしてなかったです。
But looking back, I realized that I spent most of my hard work trying to become better at soccer or become a better guitar player, and I spent my energy on those trivial aspects instead of relationships with my family, with my friends. Even though things weren't going quite right with those relationships, and they're important, I wasn't able to really put any effort into making those better.
例えばね、例えなんですけど自分が犯罪者とか容疑者だったらもう今も警察署で捕まっているのに必死に自分のことを弁護するために頑張っているわけですよね。本当はもう自分を改めるために、いろいろ頑張ればいいのに弁護するために自分は頑張っているような感じでした。
So, just as an example, say, to illustrate what I've been saying, say I had committed a crime and it was obvious I was guilty and I was caught by the police and taken to the police station. It was like, what I should be doing at that point is re-evaluating myself, looking at why I did a bad thing and trying to change whatever it was that made me do it. But instead, I was merely trying to defend my actions and not accept the reality that I had done something wrong.
まあそんな自分ですけど結構もう覚えてるぐらいもう昔から神様はいると信じていました。
So that's just a little bit about my personality. But even in the midst of all that, from when I was little, I had always thought that God must exist. まあ
学校でも神様はいるよっても教えられてましたし、自分は自然とかを見る中で自分は当然神様がいるんじゃないかなと思いました。
Since my international school was a Christian school, I was always taught that, of course, there's a God and He exists. But even outside of those lessons, when I just looked at nature around me, I thought to myself, oh, there must be a God who made all this.
やっぱそういう考え方で育ったので、もう自分が例えば後にも進化論とかっていう偶然の積み重ねでこの世の中ができたっていうことを聞いたときは正直もうバカバカしいって自分は思いました。
So I had been brought up thinking that, oh, God is a creator and He created this universe. So when I was first introduced to the evolution theory and that it was a series of coincidences that had brought about the world that we know today, when I first heard about it, I thought that that was a load of nonsense.
銀河系が何億個もあって、太陽と月があって、地球には数えきれないほどの動物植物が生きているのが偶然によって作られたはずはないと思いました。
I just couldn't. I think I'm good. I just couldn't accept that out of the millions and millions of stars and universes, that there's this one planet that was made perfectly in order to sustain life, and on this one planet, by some coincidence, a spark of life was first formed, and then from that, again by coincidence, all these millions of organisms were created in this world around us. I thought that couldn't possibly happen.
そうだよね。
Did that work?
さらに、やっぱ人間の生活の中には、音楽があって、芸術があって、哲学もテクノロジーもあって、会話があって、笑いと涙があって、考えや言語があって、こんな不思議な人生っていうものを、生きているのが偶然の結果だと思いませんでした。
No, that I don't think I can do.
ここからかな。
Okay. I also couldn't believe that it was just a coincidence that us humans in our lifestyle, that we could create a culture where there's music, there's art, there's philosophy, there's technology, where we can converse, laugh, cry. I didn't believe that this sort of society could just be made by coincidence. Did I miss something?
いいよ。
Okay.
で、ある人はもう進化論が例えば偶然に全部作られたっていうのを、ある例えで、これだけありえないものかっていうのを説明している人がいます。
And also, I've heard this one story from somebody attempting to explain how remote the possibilities of all of this world being created by coincidence are.
まあ想像してみてください。例えばゴミ置き場ってバーって広いところありますよね。で、その上を竜巻が通るわけですよ。で、竜巻がゴーって通って過ぎ去った後にそのゴミ置き場にあったのがもう完全に機能するガソリン満タンのジャンボジェット機があるようなそんな感じなわけですよ。
So the odds of a world like this being created are like that of there being a garbage heap full of like electronics and whatnot that are all broken or possibly working. It's a garbage heap of electronics, and all of a sudden a tornado comes through that area and stirs everything up, and as it leaves behind a perfectly functioning jumbo jet plane. It sounds fairly ridiculous, but that's about how remote the chances of this world being formed by coincidence are.
やっぱもう勝手に機能できるようになる世界だと思わないんですよね。自分の車だってもういつもぶっ壊れて勝手に直ってくれればいいのにもう結局ぶっ壊れたままなんですよね。ごめんちょっと感情が。
I don't think that a perfectly functioning world like this could be created just out of nothing. For instance, my car, it's always breaking down, but it never fixes itself for me. So I have to take it somewhere and get it fixed.
まあ結果から言うと自分はまあそういうなんかもうすごい神様は絶対いるんだっていうのは昔からありました。
So in conclusion, from a very small age, I'd always thought that there was a God and that He existed.
しかし神様はいると思ってましたけど、さっき説明したようなその一見楽しいような実はすごい苦しいような生活を送っていました。
But even though I did believe in God, I was still living an existence in which I was presenting a good front and pretending I was having fun, but behind that facade, I was actually hurting inside and troubled.
でまあ、高校2年生の時にクリスチャンになったわけなんですけど、その最初の、きっかけっていうのはもうただ、興味があっただけです。
And so it wasn't until my junior year in high school that I actually became a Christian. And one of the reasons that I did at that point in time was merely because I had an interest in the religion.
なんかすごい不思議で、もう普段は自分日曜日本当夜じゃなくて昼ぐらいまで寝てたわけなんですけど、たまたまなんか用事があって結構早く7時半ぐらいに起きてました。ある日曜日。